Welcome back to my channel. I'm Queen Vic, a 20+ year commercial flight attendant based in New York City, and today I am bringing you part 2 of the Iceland adventure with the girls, LuLu, Vic, and Steph, heading to Iceland, getting settled in Iceland, doing a tour of Iceland, seeing the Northern Lights, and big bonus, we went to the other big spring water lagoon, the Sky Lagoon, in part 2. Wow, both of those lagoons are worth it. Blue Lagoon, Sky Lagoon, 100% worth it. But I hear there's other lagoons. I mean, I think you could just do a whole spring tour, a hot springs tour of Iceland. Welcome back to my channel and enjoy part 2 of our Iceland adventure. On our tour day, we got up super early and made our way to what turned out to be the mystery number 14 bus stop. We were told it was walking distance from our hotel. Our first attempt turned out to be a public bus stop. Then we frantically found a hotel and asked about this number 14 tour bus stop place. Bottom line, we missed the bus. After calling the tour company and being in a complete panic, we jumped in a cab and got to the tourist bus depot where our bus was actually waiting for us. The bus was full of people and it felt like all eyes were glaring at us. The driver was very nonchalant about how tardy we were. He said a phrase in Icelandic that I cannot repeat. So my friend's cousin, Thor, who is actually from Iceland and is even an Iceland Air flight attendant, he was kind enough to be a part of this video and explain this phrase to me. Yay! Finally I get to meet Robert's cousin. Thank you for doing this with me. Yay!
Yeah,
So, all right, so the main reason why I'm contacting you is to find out this term, which I cannot pronounce to save my life. Meaning everything is going to turn out okay. Everything is okay. Right?
Yeah, þetta reddast. Everything will work out.
Okay.
And if it won't work out, it's not the end.
Okay, so how do you say the first part?
Þetta reddast.
The
It's sort of like you hear like with the Spanish, you know.
I was gonna say it sounds a little Spanish.
Yeah.
And then what's the second part?
Reddast. You roll on the R.
Rettas. Ah,
Yeah.
I almost got it. Maybe.
Yeah, perfect. Very good. Yeah.
I'm ready to speak Iceland. Well, okay. So, did you first hear that like when you were a kid? Like, how did your parents say, "Okay, it's gonna be okay. Everything's fine"?
I don't know when I heard it the first time. It's just like, I don't know. Like it's for me to say like, when did I see for the first time, or is this something that has always been there?
So like you told me the first part, it means this, right?
Yeah. And then reddast is sort of a slang. It sort of means like fixing something or yeah.
Okay, so everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So in Iceland, they use it all the time. Like it's just almost like when we travel to the Caribbean, there's always like this sort of like everything's okay. Like just don't worry about it. Everything's okay. And like, well, Iceland is an island, so technically it is island time in Iceland. Even though it's a very cold island.
Yeah, it's. I think there's always some sort of a special mindset when you live on an island, and I can relate to it. Whenever I go to any island, I was living in the Caribbean as well.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So it's the same mindset then for new. So so you work for. It's okay to say you work for Icelandic Air.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and that's who we flew over from Boston. And your mom was like she was a candidate for Miss Universe, like she was a runner-up.
I'm not sure if it was like the competition Miss Universe, but it was like she won the competition in Iceland, and I think she competed somewhere abroad. I don't know exactly all the details of it, but she at least won a title in Iceland, and she actually still holds it because they never. It was the last time they ran that competition. So usually, like the next year, some other woman will be like crowned. So she kind of still holds the title.
Okay, so kind of once a queen, you're always a queen.
Yeah.
And then your dad was like a participant in an obsession for Calvin Klein cologne ad. That is amazing. But I'm happy you're a part of my video, a little part of my video. I'm so happy to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
I'll talk to you soon. Have a good flight back tonight. We opted for the most popular tour called the Golden Circle Tour. The first stop was the Thingvellir Park, with its main attraction being the oldest parliament in the world, 1,000 years and counting. We also visited the waterfall and Continental Divide. The coolest part about this is that you can actually stand on both the North American and European continent, just on this one tour stop. The divide is basically caused by a tear or pulling apart of two tectonic plates. Another scientific earthly wonder about Iceland. The tour company gives you a set time at each stop to be back on the bus. So this gives you time to look around at the main attraction for that stop, and if it's too cold like it was for us and you're ready for a beverage of any sort, each stop has a snack bar, really nice clean bathrooms, and lots of shopping options. Next stop was the Geyser. Wow, this was really, really cool to see. I'll let these clips speak for themselves. Next up was the snowmobile part of our tour. I did not actually want to drive the ATV, so I got lucky and I got to ride with one of the ATV guides. That was a lot of fun. But let me tell you, be sure to wear shoes that cannot get snow in between the laces. I had what I thought were the perfect boots, but not for snow that deep. And be sure and wear silk or nylon long johns, not cotton. When cotton gets wet in that temperature, it freezes. Sheesh, that tour was a really long day, but loads of fun. The next day was the perfect chill day. After the early get-up and long tour day the day before, we slept in a bit and then headed to the Sky Lagoon. I really love this traditional turf house design on the exterior of this building. This lagoon also has that same otherworldly feel to it once you're in the lagoon. We spent several hours there just taking it all in. Both lagoons have their own charm, but the Sky Lagoon has an amazing sauna with a cinematic view of the North Atlantic. It also has a mist and steam room and a cold plunge pool. Both lagoons are equally quite the experience. I'm super happy we did both. Based on our experience with getting to the Iceland airport, my advice to you is to get there extra early. The security line was extremely long, and the gates were a bit confusing, even for us as flight crew. I think there's been some construction and improvement since we have been there, but it allows some extra time for sure. Keep in mind, we were there in the off-season. I can't imagine how busy this airport is in the high tourist season. Thanks so much for watching part 2 of our Iceland adventure. Please stay tuned for more adventures to come on Queen Vic Vlogs.